Kapalabhati. This is a very important pranayama. This is very good for physical health plus mental health. The name, if you look at the name, it is speaking about mental health. Kapala means head, brain, mind. Kapala means physical meaning is this Kapala. Bhati means shining. Okay, it's a literal meaning. Kapala means skull, shining. But it's not that. It's not a literal translation. That means it will keep you healthy, mental health, stress, anxiety, sleeping issues, a lot of psychological problems are there, no? So it will keep you away from that. It'll bring calmness, If you do Kapalabhati for longer time, if you have done it already, you would have experienced it, right? Example, before doing Kapalabhati, there are so many thoughts coming, going, coming, going. When you, after starting Kapalabhati, if you do it for few minutes, 3, 5, 10 minutes, you could have seen this, all the, ideas, they'll get vanished automatically. You don't have to try to stop them. When you do Kapalabhati properly for some time, for longer time, the thoughts would have vanished automatically. That's the power of Kapalabhati, These days, a lot of people are suffering with psychological issues, right? Stress, anxiety, lot, so on, so on, so on. There are so many issues. If you do this properly, regularly, at the right time, you can stay away from all these problems. So that's why I said this is very important pranayama for physical health and also mental health. Now, what to do, how to do, what are the steps in it? Firstly, you should be able to sit in one meditative posture. That is the step one. There are so many meditative postures I have shown. I have made a video on that. You can see. You can choose one. You can select one, whichever is comfortable for you. Padmasana, Siddhasana, Guptasana, Vajrasana, anything. Swastikasana. You should be able to sit in that asana for at least half an hour. Why? It is interlinked, no? If you can sit in one asana for half an hour, then you can do Kapalabhati for 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Then you will get the benefits, isn't it? That's why I always tell you, learning one meditative posture is very important. That's the base. That's when you can do pranayama, mudras, kriyas, everything, meditation. So everything is getting built on the meditative posture. So one asana. Let's sit in any asana, Padmasana, Siddhasana. I'm sitting in Guptasana. Okay, now this is how it is. Guptasana, how to sit. First you need to fold one leg and then keep it like this above the genitals, and then fold the other leg and then place it close to the first leg like this. This is Guptasana. This is how it is. Now the hands will remain on the knees like this. Okay, not like this. No stiffness. Fingers also no stiffness. Keep them free and relaxed this way. Just free and relaxed. If you want, you can be in any mudra. If you want. If you don't want, you can do it without mudra also. Okay. Keeping the hands relaxed and free is the most important thing. Don't sit like this. Okay. Spine, no. Somebody will be sitting like this. Don't sit like this. Somebody will be keeping the hands stiff this way. That's not the right posture. It's not the right way of doing it. You have to be stable. You have to be comfortable. All the joints have to be free and relaxed. No stiffness, including here, these joints. Okay, this is the step, first step. Asana. This is called asana. Guptasana. Together, legs, spine, shoulder, hands, wrist, everything, neck, head, spine, neck, head in one line. Okay, if you don't get this properly, you can't get into next step, right? Isn't it? That's how you climb the steps, no? So first learn this asana, sit in one proper asana. And then you can be in mudra, any mudra, or without mudra. And then what to do in Kapalbhati? We are focusing on exhalation. That is what we are supposed to do in Kapalbhati. Inhalation, we are not supposed to take care of inhalation. We are not supposed to do inhalation. We are not supposed to control the inhalation. The inhalation part should happen by itself automatically. The body will take care of inhalation part. When and how? You have to exhale. You should control exhalation. After, the moment you exhaled, immediately release the abdomen muscles. That's it. When you release the abdomen muscles, the inhalation will happen by itself. Okay, if you don't release the abdomen, the inhalation will not happen. So you will involve in the inhalation process. What happens? The Kapalbhati process will not happen properly. Understand? You should involve only in exhalation part. After exhalation, immediately release the abdomen muscles. Once you release it, the inhalation will happen by itself. That's how it is done. It should be done. Then you can do it properly. Then you can do it for a longer time. You will not get tired. You should not get tired. If you are getting tired, you are doing wrong. Okay? Now I'll show you. Now, this is how we are sitting, right? And then see, look at my abdomen. I am controlling only exhalation part. Inhalation part I am not doing. It's happening by itself. I am releasing like this. See, after exhalation, I am releasing the abdomen immediately. This way. When I release it, the inhalation is happening by itself. Okay. Now again, I am going to start process. Observe this. I'm not doing any inhalation. I'm not controlling the inhalation part. I'm controlling only exhalation part. But what I'm doing is I'm just releasing it immediately. See, I'm holding it now. A lot of people do this mistake while doing Kapalbhati. What they do is, I'll show you now. I'll do 2 rounds. I'll show how you're doing, wrongly. Now I'm doing exhalation and I'm holding it. I'm not releasing it. And then I'm trying to inhale manually like this. And then I'm exhaling manually. And then again I'm holding it. I'm not letting this process happen naturally. Again I inhale manually. This is wrong. What you should do is, I'll show you now. Exhale, release it immediately. Exhale, release. Exhale, release. Exhale, release. I'll do it, continuously now. This I can do I can do it continuously for so long. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. I can go on doing this. Why? Because I'm doing it correctly. There is no problem. There's no strain in the body. Body is not getting tired. There is no pain anywhere. When you do it correctly, you can do it for a longer time. When you do it correctly, So next step, what to do? If you're a beginner, if you're new to this pranayama, start with few counts. Few counts. Learn correctly. Doing it not important. How you're doing it is important. Doing it correctly is the right way. Okay. Exhale. Try to release the abdomen instantly. If you're new, you might find it difficult. Somebody can do it, on day 1 itself. That is fine. If you can do it, you can go on. If you can't do it, what you should remember is exhale and release the abdomen. That's it. The inhalation should happen by itself. And then exhale. That's it. 10 counts, 20 counts, 30 counts, enough. For a week or 10 days, for a month, continue the same. If you observe the body, how the body is reacting, how the body is feeling, respect the body. And then if you can do more counts also, it's fine. I'm just giving you minimum 10 counts, 30 counts. That's sufficient. Minimum. You can do more also. And then next step, what to remember? Asana, exhale, inhale, and then you need to close the eyes while doing pranayama. Remember that. Close your eyes while doing any pranayama, not only Kapalbhati. While learning from a teacher, you can look at him and then learn and then close your eyes and practice. While doing it, don't open the eyes. Okay, just close your eyes and then continue. And remember, the spine, neck, head is in one line. Don't sit like this and do, or don't sit like this and practice. Just spine like this, that's it. Not like this or not like this. Don't keep the spine like this. And even the hands, as I said, no stiffness. Keep the hands relaxed. If you can do it for a longer time, do it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can do it continuously. And then you can end with Makara and Omkara. Some people get into sleeping mode, while doing Kapalbhati. That's very difficult. When you do Kapalbhati for a longer time, you will experience that. As I said, the thoughts, so many thoughts will become zero. Then what is remaining? Nothing. Then what happens? The one who is doing Kapalbhati will fall into sleeping mode. So you should try to stay away from sleeping mode. Don't get into sleeping mode. You need to be aware. Okay. Then, as I said, you need to do it early morning. Very important. On empty stomach. Don't practice this after eating. Or you can practice in the evening also. That means after a meal, you should have 3 hours of gap. Remember that. You should not drink coffee, milk, juice, and then start pranayama immediately. Don't do that. So practice it on the empty stomach in early morning or in the evening. That's the best time. And to get the benefits out of it, as I said, do it regularly at the right time, do it properly to get benefits out of this.